Okay kids, get ready, good morning. It's time for news at noon. Alright, that's spelled news and that was the worst one ever. That's the worst intro. Alright. Scientists have formed a new research hub whose primary goal is to prepare ourselves for the eventual extraterrestrial invasion. SETI, short for Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, was recently formed by a group at the University of St. Andrews in Scotland. The group is gearing up to become a meeting point for experts to devise a unified way to respond to aliens. You know, because we don't want to make a bad first impression or anything, NASA has recently updated the current message that we have been spamming out into the cosmos, and SETI hopes to set a guideline for exactly what we should be telling those little green guys over yonder. I personally think that we should just tell them to pull up and crack a cold one with the boys. You seen Paul? Yeah, we're doing Paul. What is Paul? Paul Blart?
No, Paul's that one alien movie.
A Frontier Airlines flight going from Cincinnati, Ohio to Tampa, Florida has found itself making an emergency landing in Atlanta when an unidentified passenger was found to have been brought on board with not one, but two boxcutter knives. After being taken into custody and questioned, it was determined by the TSA that this was all the airport of origin's fault. They concluded that while they had scanned the passenger's bags for explosives, they failed to detect the blades in his carry-on and backpack, thus failing to follow protocol and bringing the man on board, knives included. Listen, maybe this was the guy working late at the warehouse the night before his flight, and his boss told him, "Hey, look, buddy, we got a quota to fill. I want those boxes open now. I don't care how you gotta open them. Bring them on the plane." Thankfully, nobody was harmed, and every passenger on board was given an overnight hotel accommodation with new flights booked for the following day. Wow, that's better than what I get. Moral of the story, don't bring your work home, kids. Tragedy struck this past weekend during a Wings over Dallas Airshow when two military planes collided in the air and crashed. Over 40 fire rescue units were dispatched and have confirmed that there have been about 6 casualties as a result of the collision. Videos that have been spread across social media have revealed multiple angles of the crash, depicting the Bell P-63 King Cobra failing to correct its course and directly colliding with the Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress from above, breaking both planes apart almost instantly. It is unknown what may have been the root cause for the collision, as these planes were not outfitted with flight data recorders or cockpit voice recorders. Investigators are left speculating at just what happened to create such a tragic disaster. May those brave pilots rest in peace. The United States is seeking to quickly arm Taiwan as the threat of China potentially invading the country continues to grow as the weeks roll by. This comes at the same time that President Biden is planning to meet with the Chinese leader Xi Jinping today, with the main topic of discussion being the maintenance of peace for Taiwan. Congress is moving forward with their efforts to provide Taiwan with weapons for the first time in history in an effort to allow the island to protect itself from a potential attack. Lawmakers describe this as being similar to the aid given to Ukraine, but done preemptively in order to better ensure Taiwan's safety. The potential bill could provide up to $2 billion in weapons for the next 5 years. Beijing asserts that they only aim to peacefully reunify what they say is an inalienable part of its territory. They also asserted, however, that they would never commit to abandon the use of force. Real reassuring there, Xi. Speaking of arms, Biden was recently in talks with the Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol regarding North Korea's naughty behavior these past few weeks. With North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un having triggered multiple alarms across both Japan and South Korea with his ballistic missiles, Biden has stated that he would like to see an enhanced trilateral security cooperation where all 3 countries come together. This comes as reports of North Korea's ballistic missiles tests are also being aimed for US territories as well. Biden sees North Korea as a common enemy for the 3 countries and have made multiple failed attempts to get into contact with the North Korean government in order to put an end to the fearmongering. Biden now has plans to press Chinese leader Xi Jinping and use Chinese unique sway over North Korea to potentially change its stance. Only time will tell if his efforts prove to be worthwhile. A Banksy piece has recently been discovered in the rubble of a damaged building in Ukraine, leading many to believe that the legendary artist is currently in the war-torn country in Borodyanka near Kyiv. The graffiti art itself is that of a little boy absolutely destroying an older man in a judo match, the man resembling Russian President Vladimir Putin. 2 other paintings have also been posted, with one depicting a gymnast balancing on the rubble of a building and 2 children using a metal tank trap as a seesaw. Hey, maybe Ukraine can sell these pieces and use it to fund their reconstruction efforts. And if that's at all possible, then Banksy better start chugging those pieces out quick. Just like you should be chugging out those likes for this week's video. Make sure to comment and subscribe as well so you don't miss our next episode. We will see you in the next one.